Hey there, how's it going? Today I'd like to go over a little aerial silk sequence that includes a lot of flexibility shapes that look quite pretty, and you can use these for photo shoots or just as a little sequence on its own, or maybe even as part of a choreo or something like that. So let's have a look at the sequence. So before we get started, just remember that aerial silks is a dangerous activity, so make sure you're not training without a professional, make sure you're using a safety mat, and also make sure you warm up properly for the moves that you're gonna do. Alrighty, let's hop into it. So for the sequence, we firstly want to climb up the silks and then invert. But this is not just like a regular invert as we would usually do it, because as you can see, I'm leaving the silks in front of my body and in between my legs. So I'm inverting and the silks stays in between my legs. So if you haven't done this before, just try it out first separately before you get into this whole combo. It might feel a bit weird in the beginning, but yeah, it's just a matter of conditioning that move. So once we're in that inverted position, we can hook one leg onto the silk pole and release the other hand to be able to wrap the silk tail around the other leg. So as always, when we bend the leg here, it just makes the wrapping process a lot easier. So then we want to hold onto the silks tightly again, and now we want to swing the hook leg over to the other side to where the other leg is. For this, we will first unhook the hooked leg by extending the leg, and then we're bringing it down and over to the other leg so that the legs are ending up being next to each other. The silk tail, as you can see, I'm keeping it in front of both legs, so I don't want it to get in between there. We're keeping it in front of them the whole time. So here, a little tip. The faster you swing that leg, the easier it will be, because you can simply take advantage of the momentum rather than doing all of this just by using your own strength. Let's have a look at this again. So also notice here that as my leg goes down, my upper body comes up and to the side. So then I also want to re-grip the same hand as the wrapped leg a little bit higher. This will make the following steps a little bit easier to balance, and also it will require less strength. So once our legs come together there, we want to bring them back up and over to the other side to be able to lean towards that other side. So to make this a bit easier and to get a good position in the end, we want to separate our legs again into a straddle position, and then in a big circle we want to let the wrapped leg come down first, and then the other leg will follow after, also drawing a big circle with that leg to bring it really far over on top of the other leg. So drawing that big circle will help you to really lean into the silks here. Also, as you can see, my legs are not directly on top of each other, but in kind of like this scissor shape. So I have my top leg more in front and the bottom leg a little bit further to the back. So here we really want to keep the upper body down and also our legs down, just to be able to hold that position and to not fall out of it. Because if we come up too much with our upper body here, this might actually destroy this wrap that we have, that we are leaning into, and we might fall out of it. So just be careful here. Then you might want to re-grip the bottom arm a little bit higher to make it easier to hold this position, because now we want to be able to let go of the top hand to be able to grab the silk tail to create some spin. This is optional. If you don't like spinning on aerial silks or you don't feel safe doing it, don't do it. You can just skip this part and then just continue with the rest. Also, when you're trying the sequence out for the first time, just make sure you're trying it out without the spin first. And once you feel comfortable with all the little steps that are included in it, and you feel really safe and secure in the whole sequence, and you're feeling really good about it, then only then feel free to add the spin. So next we want to wrap the bottom leg, and we're gonna wrap it twice over our knee, so on our thigh, and twice below the knee. Now we want to re-grip the silks again with both hands, and then we're gonna bring our upper body up slightly, so we're kind of in like a horizontal line here. This will help us to place the top leg, or like the one that is not wrapped, to place it onto the silks, kind of like blocking it there so it doesn't go any further, before we're bringing our upper body back down again. So here you can keep the back leg straight, or you can also bend it and grab the tail with your hands to get into some nice back bends. When you feel really safe, you can slide the top leg that is blocking the silks there. You can just slowly slide it down the silks just to create this nice little bendy shape here with the legs. And then of course you can just play around with those shapes. You can, for example, straighten the wrapped leg again, or you can also bring the top leg over to where the wrapped leg is to create this little basket shape here. Then we can bring the free leg onto the silks again, so just like before, blocking it there, which will help us to bring our upper body back up. Then we can grab that free leg with the opposite hand, and we want to grab over and behind it, not underneath it, but over and behind it. And then we can straighten it out into this nice little splitty shape here. This is not a real split because I'm not bringing it in front of my face, but behind the shoulder. So as you can see, my arm is in front of the leg. So just think about opening up that leg towards your ear and bringing it up behind your shoulder. And notice how the whole time I keep holding onto the silks with my other hand. And don't forget to point your toes. It makes it look so much nicer, don't you think? So then we want to let go of that top leg and bring it down, but rather than bringing it straight down, just try to bring it down over the side and let your upper body come up as well, which will allow us to grab the silks with both hands again. Now all that we have to do is to hold on to those silks tightly as we are letting all the wraps fall off the legs. And that was it. That was the whole sequence. I hope you liked it. Any questions? Let me know down below. Have fun, train safely, and see you soon.